Hello, everybody. It is time for your Monday pick and roll for January 20th. We have a decent slate of NBA games, and we're going to be going through here with myself, Jacob, and my co-host PipsNBA to hear his analysis on these games and also, of course, hear his free picks for the games as well. It's been a great couple of weeks on the show, and we're going to be looking to keep that going this week as well. We had a even day, unfortunately, on Friday. We had 3 bets in play. Our full unit play ended up being the winner, but our 2 half-unit plays ended up being the losers, which comes out to exactly 0 on the day. But it was a good week as a whole. Again, looking to keep that going here today. If you catched with us last week and the week before, if you've catched with us this season, and you enjoy the show along the way, please make sure to hit that like button. And make sure as well on YouTube you're subscribed to the channel or following us on Twitter for more content every weekday morning. We're right here on the Board YouTube channel presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. And we'll be going to FanDuel over the course of the show today. As always, discussing lines, discussing bets. But for our first play today, we'll bring in Pips. You've got your eye on something in the Boston and Golden State game.
Yeah, we are going to Kristaps Porzingis over 70.5 points. That's like any great analysis. That's like a pretty straightforward one. So I have it open on my Props Madness screen.
This one, not on FanDuel at the moment, but widely available at a widely available book at -120. Good to -130 here. And there's a couple other spots that have -120. But yes, go ahead, Pips.
Yeah. So looking at this, this is all games included. And he had 2 games where he played low minutes. So 11 minutes against the Wizards where he scored 11 points. And 13 minutes against the 76ers where he scored 9 points. So he was he's not even on pace in these 2 games. He was way above 20 points, on pace for way above 20 points in these 2 where the injury happened. But if we exclude those games and let's look at the games where he played 25 minutes, he's over this line in 12 out of 14 games, averaging my camera got off. Averaging what's happening here? Just a second.
Looks like your other camera.
Yeah, that's integrated camera. I want this
there
should be
go.
fine now. Yeah, my USB port is when I move it a bit, it just it gets lost. I don't know what is happening. So back to the Porzingis one. When you look at this, it's only filtered 25 plus minutes, and 2 unders against Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets, 3rd best and 2nd best defense in the league. So he is crashing this. And last game against the Orlando, he covered this even in 23 minutes against the 2nd best defense in the league. So he's been really crashing this line, and the matchup against the Golden State Warriors is a good one, actually. When you look at all the data, they are average and terrible. They are average in pick and roll man defense, free throws defense, post-ups defense, but they allow 2nd most spot up. When you look at his scoring, he scores a bunch of his boys at above the break 3, but some of his points are inside mid-range where Golden State allows the most in the league. And the huge for this one is that there is no Draymond Green. There is no Draymond Green tonight, so Golden State Warriors defense will be much worse tonight. They are on the road, so they somehow should stay in the game. So overall, I think this is a great spot for Kristaps Porzingis. I honestly can see the reasons why they just keep giving us 17.5 for him.
All right, so we've had some success with Kristaps Porzingis recently on the show. We're looking for more of that today with this play over 17.5 points against the Golden State Warriors. We will interrupt here for a word from our presenting sponsor. As always, on the Board YouTube channel, we're very proud to be presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. And as the NBA is heating up and you watch your favorite teams and players, check out FanDuel to make every NBA moment even more rewarding with America's #1 sportsbook. And one thing I really love about FanDuel is how easy it is to use. Such a fantastic interface, and it's so easy to sift through all of the markets to see all the different options available, be it same-game parlays, 10 plus, 15 plus, 20 plus, sometimes all the way up to 50 plus points, quarter props, and live betting options as well, with so many different tokens to use in those situations as well. A great book to use, and right now it gets even better because new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Yes, $300. So next time you get a hunch on who is going to win or how many points a player will score, bet on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life. Just visit FanDuel.com/board. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA, but must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. For 3 months free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll jump back into things here. Go to the top of the FanDuel odds screen, and it's 9:55 a.m. Eastern time. About 2 hours away, we have our first game of the day. We have the Charlotte Hornets and the Dallas Mavericks in action. 5.5-point spread for this one in favor of Dallas. Any thoughts on this early game here today?
The overall Kyrie is back, and I think Lively should be back for this tonight. So we have a team without Luka Doncic playing against the team without Brandon Miller. Do think the Dallas should be came on the top here. The spread is kind of confirming that. Tough to see Nick Smith Jr. and Josh Green starting for Hornets in this one. LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams will do their part, but the supporting cast is now probably the worst in the league. I don't think any teams have maybe Nets now after all this mess.
Yeah.
But the bench of Cody Martin, Seth Curry, Moasa Diabate, Okoji, Mičić, and starting Nick Smith Jr. and Josh Green, that's terrible. That team doesn't win one game in the entire season. So, tough one. LaMelo will have a ton of pressure because when you are starting Nick Smith and Josh Green next to him, you can do it. Interesting spot for Kyrie. What's the line on FanDuel for Kyrie? I think maybe
Kyrie points?
Yeah.
24.5.
Kind of moving, yeah. What's the 25 plus? I mean, that's the same spot.
That's good. Good question. -1, so it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same now. Okay, so I'm looking at this.
It's -118 now on player points. It's moving around in real time here.
Yeah, let me just check something. I recently noticed that with Mark Williams starting for them, they kind of went to the deep drop. Let me see how players lately
by -118, or that's -120 again. One of the best prices in market for this.
Let's make this official bet. I would just watched Booker scoring 39 and 30. Kyrie is kind of same play, a lot of mid range, a lot of pull up. So let's bet Kyrie over 25 plus points.
All right, so second bet will be Kyrie Irving, and we can play this one on FanDuel, -120 for this one, but -115 also available for this one if you shop around at some pretty widely available options as well. So get the best price, but one of the top ones we'll use here is FanDuel. So just the Mark Williams, the drop coverage sort of defense you're looking at here?
Mostly, the numbers won't say that this is a great bet. I mean, when he's playing against teams that don't allow isolation stuff and against overall great defensive team. Looking at this, we need to obviously add without Luka, and then we get this, and we know for a fact that Denver Nuggets send doubles to the pick and roll ball handlers. Like they are one of the best pick and roll ball handlers defense in the league. He covered against Miami, who is also like great pick and roll defense, like tough matchup for him. He covered. Hawks are a good matchup. He covered. Jazz are so still covered. Killed Portland with 46. Then again, playing against Denver, poor game, and game against the Houston Rockets, blowout loss where the Rockets just had everything to put on Kyrie. And yeah, if Mark Williams is in drop coverage, this should be like a field day for Kyrie. But we'll see.
All right, so we'll have confirmation on one of our official bets for the day pretty early on today as the NBA does its celebration for MLK Day with this game here, and we've got some action for it. So if you are watching midday, we got a little bit of an extra sweat for this one. It'll be Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. It could also be considered 25 plus points. Shop around, find the best price available for yourself, and play it over there. But for show tracking, it will be the 24.5 line. All right, we can move now into the next game on the slate. We've got, for this one, back to normal times here, the Detroit Pistons against the Houston Rockets. And Pips, you had a look for this game. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, is it normal times? Like it's in 4 hours?
Oh, wait, yeah, sorry, there's games all day. I didn't even recognize that.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, it's game by game. Like, yeah,
Yeah. I didn't realize the NBA was doing a staggered schedule like that. Okay, so action throughout the day in the NBA. So this one is going to be in 4 hours. You're right. Detroit at Houston, 8-point spread here.
Let's go to my guy, and you can probably guess who that is.
Our guy.
Yeah. So let's do. What's the line? Minus
20 and a half.
Yeah, I think there are some minus 120s out there as well. So we are going to bet Alpi. I don't have the jersey, man. Like this is a huge fuck up.
Yeah, 20 and a
I
half,
have it.
minus 122.
Yeah, that's official. But I think I saw the minus 120s, minus 115s. But
Yep.
yeah, overall, fantastic matchup. Even though the numbers not saying it, but by much. But like first off, 30 games. 30 minutes filter. So when he's playing 30 minutes, he averaged 21.3 over in 57% of the games. But like this blue line represents the matchups, and it's down on the red ones and it's up on the green ones, and that means that he struggles in tough matchups. And we exclude bottom 7 teams in defensive rating, so like top 7 teams in defensive rating, so 7 best defense like Memphis, Clippers, OKC. We can see this, that he's over this line in 15 out of 20 games with 23 points average, and he's playing 30 minutes against teams that are not top 6 in defensive rating. Those are very tough matchups. Yeah, he is kind of putting numbers against teams that allow him to do it. And we can see earlier this season, he scored 27 points against the Pistons. And that was when he was actually playing a bit worse. He had not that great start of a season, but he still put the numbers against the Pistons. Yeah, they allow they are ranked 21st against the pick and roll men. They allow isolation stuff. They allow transition points. They allow like they are not that great of a defense. They are only like they are ranked as the 17th best, which is average, and they are average only because like they don't allow transition layups. Like when you look at the rim defense, they are ranked as the 4th the least, but they allow a ton of like from mid range and from like restricted paint non-restricted area. So overall, Alpi will score from that area. Like Duran in drop or Stewart or single coverage against Shengun, he should crash against this. We can see that Jokic 37, Bam Adebayo 20, Davis 37, and some other bigs like Miles Turner just put 28. Towns had big games. Aiton had overs. Like every like skilled big that's not just run and dunk, because run and dunk bigs can but must score much because they defend rim well. But if you can score any contested shot, and Şengün obviously one of the best bigs in the league doing that, you are in a great spot against the Pistons. So yeah, I watched them a couple of days ago against KD. Even against KD, they just kind of let him shoot his shots outside, but not letting him get to the rim easy. So don't think they can do much against LP either. So yeah, this is like our third official bet.
All right, there we go. Third official bet of the day: Alperen Şengün over 20.5 points. We love him on this show. Have had a lot of success with him on the show since coming into the league, especially last season. And we've had some success this season as well. So let's hope to keep that going here today. We can move into our next game here: Minnesota against Memphis. 5.5 on the spread for this one. Any thoughts for this game?
Yeah, Ja Morant is questionable for this one.
He's always questionable, isn't he?
Yeah, this is a thing with him this season, and I honestly said I won't. So I kind of like Ja Morant if Gobert is out, but with Rudy being questionable, also like very important
That's big.
for scheme wise for Wolves, and Ja Morant obviously very important. So yeah, I'm not touching this game. We can move.
Yeah.
Heavily dependent on injury report.
Yeah, no problem there. We'll move into the Atlanta Hawks game against the New York Knicks. 6.5 on the spread for this one. Always an interesting matchup when Atlanta go to MSG. The recent history between these teams, it's a bit of a clash there. Trae Young obviously likes playing at MSG as well. But any thoughts for this game?
Yeah, Trae Young moved on us recently.
Mm.
So yeah, we can do it. Like it was decent number on 23.5. Now it's like 24 and kind of going away even at that. I mean, it's -1 of 8. It was plus 100 like 10 minutes ago. It's
Yeah.
moving. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes certain sense. He kind of catch his groove lately. Like he started the season like everyone was like he's putting poor numbers, blah blah blah. He wasn't healthy. Now he's probably getting into it, and like last 8 games. I think like in 2005 overall, he is he is shooting like his numbers like he did previous season. Like he averaged 28 points, shooting 38% from the three, and yeah, like so in January I'm just reading the numbers: 28 points average, 3 rebounds, 11 assists, and usage back to the last season numbers, through shooting back to the last season numbers, 3-point shooting back to the last season numbers. So he kind of looked like he's back. He is healthy, and now goes to the Madison Square Garden when he is just like ice tray stuff. Yesterday I've seen like the data like last to take shots to take the lead last 5 seconds in the games over the last decade. He's second behind Steph Curry in efficiency. Like only him and Steph Curry.
Last 5 seconds
Yeah,
only. Wow.
yeah. To take a lead or to for a win, and he's like 8 from 20, and Steph is only one better. Think like LeBron is interesting one. He's like 17% on highest usage. Like he has like 85 shots and made like 13 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Steph is like 48%, which is like he's 7 from 15. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
7
So,
from 15 in last 5
but
seconds. Is that just to take the lead, or is it tie or take the lead?
I think it's to take the lead. Yeah, I think
Wow,
like
strictly to take the lead.
there's some great account on the I forgot how his name, but on Twitter that shares that kind of stuff, and it's absolute. I love it, and you can kind of get that feeling with Trae Young, like he made so many these huge buckets when it's needed. Like he's been crazy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's a testament to the player's ability to create that shot as well, not just
yeah,
to make it. So,
yeah,
um, interesting numbers there.
agree. Yeah, yeah. So overall, I like this move. I kind of looked into Towns. Like I don't know, like this matchup kind of makes a lot of sense for him. 25 is a bit tough. Yeah. So obviously, the no bet probably the best bet here.
All right. Then we can go into our next game, the Phoenix Suns, who really are struggling in the last little while. They're playing against the Cavaliers. -7.5 is the spread in favor of Cleveland at home for this one. Feels like
So
this game's going in one direction here, but what do you think?
what's the thing with is there any explanation for this spread?
You think the Cavs should be favored by more?
Yeah, like what's the reason behind this spread?
I, I fully looked at the injury report.
I mean, Evan Mobley is out, so yeah, but
there's still a certain amount of respect to Phoenix if when they're healthy. Bradley Beal should be playing. Maybe the feeling is Nick Richards makes this team better.
yeah, that one.
So it looks like you're leaning towards the Cavaliers spread here at 7.5.
I mean, Mobley is huge for them. I will say, like, let me just pull quick data, like at least on off to just like get a little bit of sense how they do when Evan Mobley is out, because he's been huge for them this season, and I want to lean into this game a bit more just to get some sense.
So I'll provide some context to the Suns recently. I said they could use a win. They could use a win, but they have been much better recently. They've won 5 of their last 6. 5 of those wins, albeit against the Hawks team not fully healthy, the Jazz, the Hornets, the Wizards, and the Pistons, which Pistons is a pretty impressive win. Last couple of games, they have had Nick Richards playing. Last game they did have Nick Richards play off the bench against the Pistons. Played really well in 29 minutes, had 21 points, 11 rebounds. I suspect that's enough to say let's just start this guy today, which could play a part. None of these wins would be as impressive as obviously this win against the Cavaliers. This is a different test today.
Yeah, so Cavaliers with Evan Mobley are plus 12.5 in net rating, which is absurd. But without him, they're plus 5. And the minutes are kind of even spread, like 1,000 minutes with him and 800 minutes without him. So their offense remains the same, but their defense tanks are quite a bit. And that's the thing. Yeah, I would really love this game if it was them at home. Like if it was Suns at home and Cleveland Cavaliers on the road. I would really think this game could stay close. Right. I'm honestly looking at KD and Donovan Mitchell for this one, like combination stuff, because without Evan Mobley, Mitchell is kind of getting a bit higher usage, and they are playing a bit more through him, without Mobley out there. And this matchup is absolutely great for Donovan Mitchell, as obviously against Mike Budenholzer, like that's dream matchup for players like Donovan Mitchell. But on the other side, it's a great matchup for KD as well, like with no Mobley. So
yeah, and he's been playing really well lately, as has Booker. Anthony mentioned it in chat. Booker and Durant going off. Bear Commander Go Bears says Suns been playing much better lately. Winners in 6 of last 8. Look, I always say any like win streak like that is impressive. It's not the most impressive catalog of teams they've beaten in that stretch, but this team needed something to start going their way, and they're above 500 again.
Yeah. So let me just check the number on KD. Like, if there any 26.5 for KD?
Let's see.
Probably not.
On FanDuel, I'm gonna suspect it would have moved.
Yeah, there is
27. Yeah, low juice. That's probably just moved to 27.5. Elsewhere, this FanDuel's got the best price in market here. -104, 27.5 on Kevin Durant. This is top in the market.
Yeah. So let's do KD 25 plus and Donovan Mitchell 20 plus. I think it should be -120 or something.
All right. -121 for Durant, 25 plus. Donovan Mitchell, 20 plus. Is that official bet?
Yeah, that's our probably last official bet. Like it's this is the last official bet. Uh, yeah, so it's KD plus Donovan Mitchell. So uh, I think Donovan Mitchell is getting the volume. Like this looks terrible. Like when you look at overall this season, but there's a lot of blowouts against terrible teams. So when you look at his performances when he gets 30 plus minutes, it's very different. You can see that then he's over this line in 78% of the games, and some of these unders came in a terrible matchups. As we can see that when he's playing top 10 teams in the league, defenses in the league, he's under. But now when we filter out top 10 defensive teams, which is like Suns are like bottom five in defense, we can see that 75% he averaged 25 points. So yeah, this is a perfect matchup for Donovan Mitchell. Uh, Without Mobley, especially, they are allowing a ton of points to pick and roll ball handler. They're ranked 25th. That's most of his points. We can see that their defense, like they are allowing a lot of pull up. Just look by looking at this, they allow a lot of pull up, and that's where Mitchell tries. On the other side, why I'm going to KD, KD scores. It's absurd, but when you look at this, he scores 54% of his points from mid range. When you look at defense side of the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's the spot where they are league the most points. Like they league the most points from mid range and from short mid range. Uh, so yeah, overall, good matchup. Additional stuff, the Cleveland Cavaliers allow the most isolation post and the fifth most post ups. They don't help. They switch and then they don't help. I was watching when they played the Boston Celtics. I was watching isolation Tatum hunting Darius Garland, and they were letting him shoot mid range over Darius Garland because they like the twos. They like their opponent to shoot
Yep.
twos, and if they allow that shit to KD, he will kill them. uh yeah, that's the analysis. Like I'm not looking at numbers, even though the numbers do look good when you look at the KD with 30 plus minutes, and when he gets the usage, like when he gets the usage up, which will be there when there is like poor isolation defense. I'll just show this. When last game against the Pistons, he had 37% usage against the Hawks, 28, and that's been the thing. When you look at the KD with like 26 or higher percent usage, he's scoring 25. Like he's very consistent scoring, averaging 29 and scoring 25 plus in 18 out of 22. Like he's just getting there when team don't set a lot of doubles to him, and Cleveland Cavaliers is 90% sure they want to do it. Last season doesn't do much, but the Cleveland Cavaliers kind of played similar defense, and he put 37-32 against them. So I know the coaching changed, but this kind of way they play defense didn't change much. So yeah, looking at KD and Donovan Mitchell, if the game stays close, this should be an easy cover. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the Suns have been better, so the indication is that this one should stay like within touching distance. I know you lean a little bit towards the spread on the
Yeah,
Cavaliers, but the Suns have enough to keep this close.
yeah. If Mobley was playing, I think this is a blowout. But Mobley is kind of big for their defense. Like, I think both of these teams are not similar, but there's not like a huge gap between them on offense. Like Suns are top 10 offense and Cavs are the best offense. The defense was there. Like Cavs are like like top five with Evan Mobley barely, like range of top five, and the Suns are like bottom five of the league. So without that defensive like edge, I think maybe there's a chance this could stay close.
Yeah, and if it does stay close, we're hopefully set up with a fantastic position for it. That is our third official bet of the day, so quite a bit to go off of for today's show. There's a couple more games here. Four official bets.
Fourth, yeah,
Did I say three?
yeah. I said third,
Oh, so
yeah,
fourth official bet. My apologies.
yeah.
There's two more games here, but there's not much that Pips wants to do with it. There's a big spread in the Jazz game against the Pelicans. It's 11-point spread in favor of the Pelicans, and the Bulls away at the Clippers. But not a lot that we want to go with on these ones, so we can transition now to the Q&A portion of this stream. Is there anything in those games you have? Of course, feel free to ask away as well, since we're not going to go in depth on it. But sticking with this game, we had Anthony ask earlier about Durant. That's obviously included in the bet, so that one's pretty much solved. But also ask about Booker over 26.5 at minus 125. I guess it's a similar handicap for Kevin Durant. But any reason why you chose Durant over Booker?
Bigger mismatch without Mobley, and not dependent on pick and roll defense, and that's where the Cleveland Cavaliers do well, like in against pick and roll ball handlers, while KD is more of a like isolation post up kind of guy.
Okay, so explanation why Kevin Durant is the play over Booker there. We'll go back to the Charlotte game. This was top of the board here. Jelko asks about Mark Williams over 15 points. I'm not sure if this is 15 and a half, but minus 110 or so, the odds showcased here. I'm just going to look quickly what the line is just to confirm, but
It moved to 16 and a half.
16 and a
Most
half.
part.
He's been playing a lot better lately. What do you think about these?
I mean, he's been playing great entire season, unless that one game and we took it over. Yeah.
Well, he did.
So
Recently, he went over when we played him because it was the
Yeah,
day Nick
yeah.
Richards got traded.
yeah, but the worst game of the season was when we
When we
bet
bet
first
him,
time
yeah.
with him. Yeah. And then same matchup, same team. 2 days later, he scored like season high. But overall, yeah. Always need to
course.
share frustrations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So he averaged 23 points per 36 minutes, and he's going to play like at least 32 tonight. Matchup is average, maybe a bit slightly above average if Lively is out. I'll say good matchup if Lively is out, and average matchup if Lively is in. Like that's important.
Mhm.
Like 16 games this season, averaging 23 points per 36. I know the 20 per 36 metric is not widely used for most people for some reasons, but I think this is actually a really good way to approach this. Like 23 points per 36, and then you look at like per 32, that's probably like 21 and a half point. Yeah, I think per 15 and a half should be the over. I lean over on 16 and a half as well. 15 and a half should be a good spot to take him over, especially Brandon Miller out. So like two guys with ball will be LaMelo Ball with the ball and Miles Bridges. Other guys are low usage. No additional minutes with Vasilije Micic, who will play only pick and rolls with Mark Williams, and he is like pass first player kind of. Overall looks great at 15 and a half.
All right. Good. Maybe a good spot there for Mark Williams. A lot of questions coming in about the Jazz. We'll answer those in just a second here. We'll stay on this game because earlier God's team asked about LaMelo Ball under 30 and a half points. The line for this one is, it's come down to 20. Best in market, it's 29 and a half, minus 110. There still are 30 and a halves out there at heavier juice, but what do you think about LaMelo?
I think just to like there's like people that are asking here. Like I know like there are some people from like Croatia and Serbia that have our local books that are watching and asking. So when like a couple of guys when ask, I already know like where it is. Like, so
Okay.
yeah. So this is probably one of these spots as well. I mean, if it's juice, like I see it currently like minus 135, minus 140, don't do it. Like but under 30 and a half at minus 135 is like insane. However, it's way better to take under 29 and a half at plus 100. That's like very insane difference.
Even 110 would be better.
Yeah.
And then at that.
Yeah. I'll just say if you can get like any decent price, sure. But I think they are going to defend him really well, and this goes well with this under. But the volume will be absolutely insane. Yeah, there is no one to shoot there. Like
Right,
and LaMelo,
right. No Brandon Miller.
and I think LaMelo fucking loves it. Like when he's the only guy out there, and then he can shot 40 times. I think he kind of enjoys it. Like he's like, yeah, weird guy, but fun guy. So yeah.
All right. So a lean towards the Melo under, but not at the prices available for 30.5 at the
Yeah.
moment. All right. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Your friend James said Clarkson, Collins, Markkanen, Sexton, all out for this one. And there was a question from a good friend Chillionaire about Isaiah Collier with all the players missing. Just a general question, anything Jazz related or anything Isaiah Collier potentially related.
So
Is intriguing.
last game he was off the bench with Sexton and Kejonte playing, and I think it was like 5 minutes in. I turned on the game and I don't see Collier on the court, and I was like, oh yeah, he's from the bench. I open up books and it's 9.5 points and assist line. That was the like free money, free money. I bet 9.5. He covered this in the first half. He ended up with 24, I think.
Yeah, today
it
it's
was
17
absurd.
and a half.
Yeah, yeah. Which is all in for over. Which is all in for over. It's kind of adjusted. I still think it's not enough. I think he can get like 10 and 10, like double. What's the price for double?
Double for Isaiah Collier is plus 470 at FanDuel, which is pretty close to the best you're going to get.
I honestly think that there's value to it. Like he's the main guy. He creates all the offense. I would really love if Kejonte was out and Sexton was playing, because Sexton is finishing on his passes rather than creating. And Kejonte is like, yeah, hope he's not on the other end of Collier passes, because he won't make much. Won't convert many assists. But yeah, I kind of like Collier. Scoring wise, it's tough. I don't know. It's like looking like Jalen Green and some stuff. Like he's such a slim frame that he can finish around the rim. Like throughout any contact. Like if he gets any contact, he can finish around the rim, which is it sucks. But he will handle the ball for 36 minutes. He's a blowout proof, and this will be a blowout. And the Pelicans defense sucks, stinks, and he can get the easy buckets. So easy buckets, I mean, both assist and points. So I think double actually makes a lot of sense. Like either he has a great game or he doesn't. So plus 475 or 480. Is that the best price, or like
480 is best price? FanDuel's got 470.
Yeah, so that range, obviously, I think that's worth the shot. Like last game, same team. Like last game he played against Pelicans. Let me just check the numbers. He had 8 points on 3 from 10 shooting. That was with both Kejonte and Sexton, and he ended up with 11 assists on 16 potential assists. So overall, like he's close. Like last 5 games, 9 assists, 8, 7, 10, 11. So he's kind of there in that range of a double. And points wise, 23, 11, and 8 last couple of games. Yeah, I think this is actually a good, great spot for trying to get double. I think this double should be plus 300, like stuff.
Okay.
350. So yeah, value there.
So perhaps a really interesting position here for Isaiah Collier. So some good questions there. We'll touch on it just because it was asked. Bear Commander Go Bears asked about the over in this game. I know we're more of a prop show here, but would you suspect this goes over 232? Would you lean any direction?
Let me just check last game, because I watched it and it looked like an insane pace. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll need to look into it, because they were finishing their possessions in like 5 seconds when I watched the first half. Pace of the game 105, 105. That's really high.
Pretty high.
Yeah, the game ended up with 260 points. Let me just check. Is there any shooting variants? Looks kind of okay to me. Both teams were, I think Pelican shot a bit over the, like Jose Alvarado made 6 threes. That's insane. But overall, I think that's okay spot to bet. The game went over like by 27 points. And there is nothing crazy about efficiency. And when the games are played in that high pace, there are some easy transition buckets that improves efficiency overall. So yeah, I kind of lean over.
Okay, so a lean towards the over there. So yeah, expecting a lot of points here, which could also help Collier. You mentioned in your discussion about Collier, you mentioned Jalen Green, which is a good segue because a couple people have asked about Jalen Green. It's me, Dado, asked about Jalen Green laddering the threes for him today, but Zerky asked about Jalen Green over 24. I'm gonna just confirm the price there. Remember to send in prices if you can. It makes it easier for us to handicap it. So yeah, 23.5 is available for Jalen Green, and there's minus 115 available. There's very low juice at 24.5 as well, but 23.5 minus 115 is out there. What do you think of this price?
Yeah, I'll show you why everyone. I'll show you, Jacob, why
This looks
everyone.
like it's
Why
moving
everyone
very.
is that?
It looks like it's moving very fast. This number,
Yeah,
by the way.
you can look at his numbers and like
So yeah, he's pretty good.
he's been playing well. Yeah,
Is this just no filters?
no filters. Last 8 games.
He just has these. So anybody listening, he's averaging that. What is this? 31 points.
Yeah,
31 points the last 8 games. He just has these stretches every season. Last year, it was the last 2 weeks of the season he did this, and then it was like, oh my god, is this how good he's going to be? Then he starts the season not so great. Then he has this sort of run. It's just the consistency of these runs. Can he sustain it?
yeah. I'll say this. He's shooting 50% from the three over the last 9 games. He's 40 out of 80 last 9 games. So he averaged more than 4 threes a game on 50% from. But look, I'll give him props. Like only one team out of these 8 games is terrible team. Like he put the numbers on Boston, on the Lakers, twice on the Memphis, on the Denver Nuggets, on the Kings, Blazers. Like so, 2 out of these 6 8 teams are like poor defense. Everything else is like great to average defense. Like he's not being putting numbers on terrible teams. The process on the court looks better. I'll say like it happens every year, but process now looks better. He's looking to get the contact, to get to the line. He is like playing off Shengun, not forcing threes, but he's like getting a couple of wide open because he actually started moving off the ball, positioning himself better. So do I think it sustains? Absolutely not. Would I like it for it to sustain, even though I will then need to eat shit because I talk shit about him all the time? Yes, but I will actually like it because I'm a Houston Rockets fan.
Of course.
Yeah. So there is that. Lively ruled out. Someone said it's plus for Mark Williams, of course. Sticking with Jalen Green, Pistons as a matchup, that's interesting. I don't think they allow many spot up. Like he is still scoring a lot in transition and in spot up, and that's the two areas where they are actually good. Like Pistons are only good defending the rim, transition, and spot up. And kind of spot up and transitions are where he scores his threes from. Though they allow second most above the break threes, and those are mostly pull-ups. And yeah, I could see him shooting like 4 from 10 and getting like sure, ladder his threes and hope for the best.
What I'll say is that this point, whatever the point number is moving right now. So if you have there's 22.5 actually out there. If you have 22.5, I think you got to play that. 23.5. Also consider it because I think this will move into 24.5 territory. So from a straight market perspective, this probably looks good at 23.5. Okay, couple more, and then we will end off the show. We have Philip NBA who asked about Levine under 4.5 assists minus 130.
Levine under assist. Actually, that makes sense. Let me just check the numbers. Like I didn't look into this. Why this makes sense? Because Kobe White is playing, Aya DeSumo is playing, and Josh Giddey are playing, and Lonzo Ball could be back. So like he's like last in like he's not on top of hierarchy for creation. I'll check the numbers with Vucevic, with Kobe White, with Ayo, with Giddey. With Ayo, I would say. And when you look at this under in 17 out of 26. We need to exclude these blowout games, even though it's a possibility. So I actually won't exclude that one. When you look at this
definitely a possibility.
Yeah. So he put some big numbers on teams that allow assists, like Hawks, 27th, 17th, 27th. So let's look when he's playing teams above average on defense. Yeah, I mean it's juiced. So it's I will say you need to get at least the minus 125 for this to be like a good bet.
Okay.
Yeah, minus 125, minus 120. Yeah. So Clippers are difficult matchup for the assist. That's need to be said. Yeah.
Minus 125 if you can for that one. Last one. Swish asked about Trae Young over 10.5 assists at plus money. So assuming about plus 100.
Yeah, Knicks. I need to check the numbers against the Knicks because I like his over points against the Knicks. So because they let him play single coverage against Mikhail and McBride, but this line looks now kind of a bit over adjusted.
So it's actually plus 106 at FanDuel.
Yeah. So when he get like for 2 games against the Knicks, 10 assists on 21 potential. 11 assists and 50 potential. Well, this last game at 50 potential, that's a reach. If he gets 50 potential, he's not covering this much. First game, he didn't cover the 21. That's a bit. 21 should be enough. So let me just check last couple of games. Last game against Boston, 23. That's really promising. Suns are not good matchup for assists. Jazz, 20. 14 against the Clippers. What the fuck? Like Clippers. 14 assists and 28 potential. I think that's Jalen. Yeah, Jalen Johnson was out. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I do. I don't have any opinion on this actually. Like the recently numbers kind of tanked, even though Jalen Johnson was out, and the biggest numbers he put was without Jalen Johnson. So, don't like it. Like, I don't lean any side on this one. I just think the 10.5 is okay line.
Fair price on that. All right. Apologies, but that's all the time we've got for today. So we'll end it off there. Before you go, hit that like button to support the show. Subscribe to the channel for shows like this every weekday morning here on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel. 3 of our picks today come from that presenting sponsor. First of all, we have in the Boston Golden State game, Kristaps Porzingis over 17.5 points, minus 120. That was good to minus 130 as well. Then 3 straight picks from FanDuel. Dallas at Charlotte early in the day. 2.5 hours away pretty much from this game starting. We're playing Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. Minus 120, we got it at FanDuel. Then in the Detroit-Houston game, we have Alperen Şengün over 20.5 points. We got that minus 122 at FanDuel. Last play, Phoenix at Cleveland. Kevin Durant, 25-plus points, parlayed with Donovan Mitchell, 20-plus points, and that was minus 121 at FanDuel. Best I could find elsewhere, not widely available, minus 120, so great price there for that SGP. That'll do it for the show once again. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Let's have another good day, and we will see you tomorrow to recap it and hopefully keep it going. Thanks again, everybody.